Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse drive-by review.
Oh man, I don't think I'm ready. Like, I'm still trying to formulate all of my thoughts.
So
Wow.
this is Evan's first time seeing it. This is my second time seeing
yeah.
it. This is Nathanael.
Whew. So we are actually driving this time. I'm driving Nathaniel back to his house, but so I definitely had high expectations going into this movie, and I could definitely say they exceeded them by a lot. It's very visual. That's like my first impression of it. Like, there's a lot to look at.
There's not only like so much color, but like so many interesting things.
And to say, it's that old saying, blink and you'll miss it. It really much. There's a lot of like little details that you don't see like initially, and there's a lot of things that I feel like I'd have to see it again to see them. I think one of my favorite little things that they threw in there is they threw the Insomniac Spider-Man suit from the PlayStation game. That's in the movie. And I think that's awesome. I wasn't expecting that at all. Nathaniel was getting very ready. He's like, look really close, and he like pointed it out, and I saw it in the corner.
I want you to miss it.
And I was like, oh my gosh, there it is.
And it's so cool because like in the Spider-Man game, they have the Spider-Verse suit from Peter Parker.
Yeah, I know, it's really good.
Which I still really want to see in action.
Yeah.
Anyway, it's just like everything about this movie was just so stylish.
We'll avoid spoilers in this review. I think it's just going to be our because I definitely want you guys to experience this for yourself. This is something that us talking about it isn't going to do it justice at all. So, but I think stylistic wise, I think this is a very unique movie because it feels like it's like a painting, but in movement.
But it's also like kind of like looking at 3D without glasses once in a while. It's
yeah,
also
it does.
Like
it does that too.
Very comic booky, obviously.
Yeah, and it kind of really feels like, for me, for a lot of times, I felt like I was in like the panels of a comic book. I know that that sounds kind of like cheesy, I guess, to say, but especially for a superhero movie. But it really felt that way because I felt like that was the aesthetic they were going for, and they nailed it too. The characters are a lot of fun. I was gonna say, other than Peter Parker, Miles Morales, and Gwen Stacy, the other Spider people, they kind of get the back seat when it comes to character development.
I think they're more there just to be like stand-in and kind of just like fill it in a little bit.
Yeah, they're meant to be bit characters, and the thing is that they fulfill them really well.
So good.
Almost too well.
Almost like too well. Like Nick Cage's characters, like Noir Spider-Man. He's so good. He
made me love Spider Noir more. I was never a big fan of Spider Noir, but now I'm like, okay, I need to look into this more because that's really funny. I don't think his character. I don't think the comics are meant to be funny, but Nick Cage, great job, dude. I'm not always a big fan of Nick Cage, but this time you really knocked it out of the park. I loved that, man. That was really good.
You gotta love Peter Parker too.
Peter Parker was so good.
Penny Parker, I love Penny Parker.
Penny Parker was good.
Like Mick. What?
Yeah, I loved that. That was awesome. I know there was I was gonna say there's a thing on Twitter that there were people that were mad about it, or there was one person.
Yeah, I guess Penny Parker's supposed to have like a different origin story, but yeah, I thought it was so cool seeing with each of them, like they had like 3 or 4 different like animation styles. Like you had like anime, you had like the black and white, you had like the one from the movie, and then you had like Spider-Ham, who was like almost like 2D.
Yeah, he was. Yeah, he really looked like something out of the Looney Tunes, which he makes a Looney Tune joke at the end. So, and they even joke about saying, "Are we legally allowed to say it? Is he legally allowed to say that?"
Which is it's so great because really, are they legal?
Yeah, I know. It kind of makes me think I guess it's just a phrase. I guess they didn't.
I think one of the biggest things about this movie is just the people that worked on it. You could tell really love Spider-Man.
Oh, yeah.
All the different Spider-Men and women out there.
Yeah.
It's just it's such a passion project.
Yeah.
It's just like Evan said going out of it, like he just felt happy.
Yeah. I just had this big smile on my face. I left so happy and just so like, oh, this is so good. And we were talking about just sitting in the theater, like this year's been really good for Spider-Man. Like Spider-Man has really gotten like his shine on this year, just with Infinity War, the video game, and now this. It's been a really good year for Spider-Man fans, definitely, and it's been really good year for like passion projects. and for things that people clearly care about, and the end product really shows.
It's cool seeing people even with projects like Spider-Man, they're giving these projects to people who love them, not just people who are going to make something good, but some people, they give it to people who are going to make something amazing because they care about it.
Yeah. And at the end there was another tribute to Stan Lee. I feel like a lot of these Marvel movies coming out this year are going to have more tributes to him.
Even going into next year with Avengers is just.
Yeah, I can imagine there will be. There was a Stan Lee cameo in this, in a different way, but he's still in it. But it was a really good story. It wove everything really well together. It didn't feel very, even though there was a lot of characters, it didn't feel very
It didn't feel cluttered in a bad way.
No,
And for certain characters, when they had these little emotional moments, even though they didn't develop it too much, it still hit really well.
And what was really nice about this is that there was really only one villain, Kingpin, and that was it.
Mm-hmm.
He had side.
They had side villains that were sprinkled.
Yeah, he had henchmen, but there were other villains that in the Spider-Verse that people would know, right? But the portrayal of different characters in different ways was very interesting.
It was different than they did in other movies.
Yeah,
Green Goblin was.
Yeah, and they did a really good job with not spoiling every character that's in it, because there's some characters that showed up. I was like, oh, I didn't know they were in this movie.
Yeah. And
we're not going to tell you who. You have to go see it. But I mean, overall,
I thought this movie with a villain, it really wasn't about investing that much in villains.
No.
In terms of their backstory, but it's still, they did their job.
Oh yeah.
It was obviously way more about the spider people.
Oh yeah, clearly. But yeah, overall, if we give it a grade.
Oh, dude, A++.
A++.
I am still totally in love with this movie.
Yeah.
Seeing it a second time, I'm just blown away. It's my favorite movie of the year.
Wow, really?
Yeah.
It takes it.
It takes it
yeah.
It's
appropriate it's appropriate that you've seen this at the end of the year, so you have everything to compare.
Yeah,
to, right?
I've seen definitely, and I've seen a few more movies since the past few weeks, and I'm just so in love with this movie.
Yeah.
I'm just a sucker for Spider-Man.
Yeah, I think I've been a Spider-Man fan for a really long time, since I was a little kid, and I definitely say this is probably one of my favorite movies of the year. I feel like a lot of people have this stereotype that an animated movie can't be the best movie because it's animated, it's a cartoon, It's not. But I think it's really childish. I know, ironic to say that, but I think that's really ignorant to think, because just because it's animated doesn't mean it can't be an Oscar nominated movie.
Yeah, if you don't like animated movies, go watch this.
Yeah.
Still watch it.
Yeah. But
what do you score it?
I mean, I have to give it an A. It is so good.
Yeah, it's just that good.
There are, I think, one or two nitpicks that I have, but they're so minor, it doesn't matter. They're just very small. They're things that I pointed out to you while we were watching it, just going I mean, you could totally see, but then by the time I said something, it
right. It
just shut me up, and I was like, okay, never mind, I'll just watch then. So yeah, I mean, overall, yeah, I have to give it an A. It was really good. Go see it.
Go see it 3 times. Go see it twice if you have the money.
Definitely go see it 3 times, or see it twice if you have the money.
What?
Sure. That's a backwards way of thinking, but
if you're gonna watch Aquaman, at least watch this 2 times to balance it out.
Yeah.
So. Yeah.
Yeah. Go get your friends together. Go see it. This will probably be our last
content of the year, I think.
Yeah,
right?
Probably. I think we got one more thing coming, but yeah. Thank you so much for listening to this, and we'll see you later. Bye bye.